Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to be sticking around in the factory, improving on some things and getting through that list that we started in not the last episode, the one, was it? I don't know. I've lost track over these last couple of episodes. I think it was last episode where we started improving the factory, and we're going to carry on improving the factory instead as well. Ugh, what is going on? Words are hard. So this episode, a little bit disjointed in terms of the order that some of the clips are managed in. So as you can see, there's a few extra little bits which we'll cover in a minute. So some of it will be a little bit disjointed until we get into the swing of things. But today we're going to be expanding the factory out a little bit this way, expanding this system, and also you'll see what is going on down here in this massive mess of redstone spaghetti. So while recording last week's Halloween episode, I ended up killing a lot of wither skeletons, and so I now have the skulls to make a wither. I really want a beacon so that I can get regen set up at the gold farm, or even the witch farm, so that I can just do long AFK sessions without having to worry about myself eating and dying. So let's have a nice epic long drawn out battle with the wither. You see we're in the end with our original end crystal still up there from where we one-shot the Ender Dragon. Oh, wow! What a tricky fight this is. It's probably incredibly loud, isn't it? Oh no! It's getting harder now. He's in his second stage. Now I can only attack with melee attacks. Oh no! Well, that was easy, wasn't it? So I've been putting the beacon to good work, as you can see by my levels. Lots of AFK sessions at the gold farm, and I've cleared out a nice big area underneath our system to be able to put in these disable request lines. Now, I haven't made an attempt to start the rest of them because it's going to be a pain to do, and we don't actually have all of the ingredients yet, so I'm going to hold off a little bit longer on that. The cobblestone farm has been a pain. It's broken itself a couple of times, so I've rebuilt it. I've made sure to align it inside of a chunk this time. That was the problem last time. The same problems on the stone one, but it hasn't broken yet, so I'm going to leave that as it is. But I've had to rebuild the cobblestone one, and it seems to be working all right now. Where else have we done stuff? The bamboo farm is currently working. Did I log off and it broke? Yep, of course I did, multiple times, quite a few times actually. So that's there, and there is a problem with the factory which happens a couple of times. It's on specific things, so let's have a look over here. So we can see that our chest crafter has broken. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that the issue is that the system we've got over here to slow items coming through is still slightly too fast. We also have this problem with some of the crafters over this way. These two here, whatever they are going to be our barrel crafter. As you can see, that's properly messed up there. And our chiseled bookshelf, which hasn't messed up just yet, but is likely to mess up. So this one here messed up, barrel crafter, which is weird because it's very similar to the chiseled bookshelf crafter, so that's slightly strange. And as we saw earlier, the chest crafter is also broken. I've just picked up literally everything. I need a place to just dump the items, really. I'm just going to do it here, there. There, I did not mean to chuck those composters. Oh, I didn't mean to pick the crap. Oh. See, this is another problem with the system, is while I'm trying to bug test it and all of this stuff, it just all goes wrong. But as you can see, if we stand here, everything that overflows, a lot of crafting tables. So, yeah, it's just weird because I've got to wait for the droppers to all come in and be able to craft up. But there's a load of droppers there that are spare. So what's holding us up on the craft at the front is what we've got to figure out. Crafter is this one here. But yeah, it's all kind of at its own pace. Crafting tables come out very often. So potentially, well, again, this is a solution, well, not a solution, this is what I'm hoping to finish. When everything's finished crafting, then things won't be a problem, is what I'm kind of aiming for. And as we're getting all of these resources literally for free, I've got to put no time and effort into it, it's all doing itself, then I don't need to worry about it. That's kind of where I'm going with that. But what we do need to worry about is this, because this is breaking our system. So I'm going to come up here. So the solution to this, to slowing this down, I think is going to be to use a hopper clock. So we can only use, so if we're using a full recipe, then that'll take 9 hopper transfers. So what I'm thinking is we swap this out for a hopper clock with 9 hoppers in it, and then we slow it down to that speed, and then it shouldn't break. If it then does break, we up it to 10, just to slow it down further. Because what I think is happening is that we get a load of items come in. So say, for example, our chest one, wood comes in, fills it up to that stack in the hopper, it crafts something else. And then it just keeps doing that. But that should then see things fixed. So what that means now is we need to go and reprogram in a load of our crafters. Oh no, that's fine, I think. So there's our chest crafter. So we fill that back up. We can swap that over, and we can then turn that back on. So that should be all right. Oh no, but it does 16, doesn't it? Because it doubles. Yeah, okay. But that's filled back up. So if it doesn't go below 48, I think we'll be all right. I think we're all right now. I think we've cooked. I think that's fixed it. We'll keep an eye on things, make sure things are running smooth. Nothing else has gone wrong up here. I'll disable pistons for the time being because I don't have the slime farm. What's that? That's crafting table, so that's fine. That slabs. Do I want to turn it back on yet? Yes, because we're going to fix the problem. Tripwire hooks, I don't want to turn back on just yet because we need chests getting through to there, and we're not full of hoppers yet, I believe. Yet, no, not full of hoppers, so that'll come in a bit. That's the cobble farm. That scared me a second. Fill up that with bamboo there, and we want to go and have a look at the chisel bookshelves there. No, there. We got the blocks in first, so we'll pop them there. So that should, in theory, have fixed our problem. Yeah, I think I'll just kind of sit back, let it do its thing. Slime spawning in the base, that is infuriating. Yeah, you are dead as a doornail. Well, I always thought a coffin nail would be a more appropriate piece of dead ironmongery. There's a little quote for you if you're doing GCSE English. That was my take on A Christmas Carol. Happy Christmas. So this big old mess down here is slightly less messy than it could be. I'm very happy that I took the decision to color code everything as to what it's doing. So each of these lines here represents one of these items in the item frames here. So that when everything that is using it as a crafting ingredient has finished crafting, then it will send a signal through these lines here, and then it will extend the piston if it is finished. Okay, so as we can see, our stone, we are finished with stone. We are finished with, let's go through the wires. We're finished with cobbled deep slate. We're finished with gold. So we've got a few of those things in. There's still obviously a few more to put in, like our leather, iron and redstone. And then we've got the other ingredients as well to add. So all this is basically one big AND gate from the systems, and then it's all combining. So let's take our sticks, for example, which I've color coded with this oak planks here. Here we have redstone torches, redstone repeaters, comparators, Over here we are cooking up our dispensers, and then the other things that require sticks to craft are around the other side, so we've got to follow the redstone wire around the outside. And we have our trap chests, and over here we have our tripwire hooks and levers, and then down this end we have all of our rails except from the which one is it? Test of my knowledge. The detector rails. So all of those require it. So if any of those torches are on, then the redstone line is powered. As you can see, we don't have all of our trap chests. So the redstone line's on over here. It then comes all the way down here. As you can see, the dispenser line is also on, which means it's definitely getting powered, which turns off the torch and then allows sticks to still be spat out into the water stream in the system. So we can see here sticks still coming through, but a lot of these middle ones here are turned off because we have finished them. These ones here where there are blocks are where I've manually come in and turned them off. So this is our leather and quartz. I've turned those off because we're currently not producing everything we need to craft the materials, so there's no point in keeping them on just for the time being. So that's our daylight detectors, our lecterns, and a few other things in there. So that is all well and good there. So let's come and have a look at our to-do list here. So the new farms, this is what's interesting, is what extra stuff we need to store. So we need to expand this system here. So I'm going to then fill out another chunk with our grid pattern, which will then continue over there. I might need to change up this one redstone torch here in order to get the correct output for that. So we're going to expand the line. We're then going to build in another set of this, so it's going to expand all the way out here. In the back here, all we're going to need to do is just shift this iron line around a little bit. So that's fine there. Oh, that as well. Some of the crafters were a little bit fiddly. The iron and the gold block crafters were fiddly because the way that it was doing, it was then pulsing a second time, which then required, which then crafted a pressure plate because two items had flown in. So I'm going to figure out that. But so it's all about expanding the factory this way. And then we can put over in this area here our quality of life crafters, because obviously we won't have any room on this side here because there's another jumbled mess of redstone. In terms of expanding the factory this way, not likely. Look at all of this mess in here that is blocking us from expanding that way. In terms of going a full chunk, which is quite a nice thing that we've got to set up here. So I want to try and keep this pattern, keep the expansion as we move over this way, and then we could always do some other ways, but that's just our plan. Let's get on with it. So we've expanded the storage system for our bulk materials, and we've sorted out the crafting system as well for the iron blocks, and changed up the line for the iron blocks as well, so that it wasn't interfering with the system. Now, we've got to figure out what to put in here. So we have 20 spots to put crafting ingredients for our thing. We do not have that many crafting ingredients. Here is the crafting ingredients that we've kind of got up in this top half here. The bottom half is kind of half that, half not. So for example, our soul sand we're getting from our bartering setup, but we are almost overflowing on it. So I'm half tempted to put soul sand in there, if that makes sense. So we can then kind of get that in. Same with crying obsidian. Packed ice and honey blocks I'm less concerned with, because packed ice we've got to go and get ourselves, and then honey blocks we can always just, it's only used for honey blocks, so we can just turn off the farm itself when we're full on that. So that I'm less concerned with. Skulk shriekers and sensors. Sensors are a crafting material, shriekers aren't. So again, potentially just turning on and off the farm. I'm not 100% sure on those ones, but these ones here are our crafting materials that we do need for either the quality of life crafters, which are these four here, or for the actual components that are in the redstone crafting factory at the top here. So those are those. And then the other thing that I was thinking of, so there's problems with the factory design, kind of like, they're not problems as such, it's just ways that things could be done better. So for example, the slab crafting, so there is wood coming in to the system at a certain rate. Now there are things that require both slabs and planks. So if they are coming in slow enough or too slowly, then only the slabs will get crafted and no planks will make it through to the crafting system and wasting all of the planks. I'm not 100% sure if we're at that level, because what I've been doing just to get up to level with the things is just by removing the shulker boxes of planks from here, because of course if there's one thing in here then the farm will shut off. So if the farm's on, we get an absolute overload of planks coming in at once, which then allows a lot of stuff to come in and then fill up our crafters for which ones need it? The barrels and the chisel bookshelves, which we are now finished with, actually. We're now finished with, so we can... So the thing that next needs slabs are the lecterns and the daylight sensor, so we can turn off the slab crafter. So going back to the original problem, is that do we have materials that we craft stored up, ready to flow into the system? So I think, I mean, these are the materials that we're crafting, I think. And I'm unsure. Oh, and chest as well. I've used the chest to store this. So, but I think we need to take them case by case. So pistons should be being crafted slower than slime balls come in. So I don't see a problem with that. Tripwire hooks is an interesting one because it's, again, another thing with the slabs, and it needs chests as well crafted. So it's a lot of wood coming in at once for that. So potentially books. Yeah, books and bookshelves is a tricky one. Crafting table is the only wood thing used on a crafter, so potentially leaving those ones. Slabs I've already talked about. And then these ones here, again, I think having run the factory for so long and now being caught up on everything, I think it's probably fine just to leave those there. So yeah, unsure on some of these fronts. If we combine the chest, or if we get everything in and then we figure out, because we've got 20 slots. So honey blocks and packed ice, not too fussed about. I think soul sand and Quran obsidian, we can potentially maybe store them in the nether in our bulk system with our piglin bartering. I think that could be a good idea, but they could also get through. So slabs is one of the things that I did want to craft in. I feel like books and bookshelves should be there as well. I'm fairly happy not having those ones in. These ones here. So I've got 3 slots to fill. I'm feeling these 2 because that's a manual farm. I've got to have a place for me to put my packed ice into the system as well. So we've got 1 more slot to fill up in terms of this. We've got 8 items to choose from. I think pistons is a no, because sticky pistons are crafted, or sorry, slime balls will be spat out as fast as pistons will be made, I believe. Crafting tables are the only wooden material used in crafters, so I'm fine with that. Packed ice we're manually doing. Honey we'll take from the farm. And then all of these ones. I think purely because it's a lot of wood, I think we should go chests. So there's our 20 that we're going to now store up, I think. So we're going to need slime farm, skulk, amethyst, paper, honey, glass, copper, blaze rod, deep slate, doesn't matter, breaks for that. Shulker's shells. I don't think we need those because we're only making shulker boxes out of them, and we'll have a crafter itself, so they can just go straight into that. I think that's probably how we're going to do it, is this. So these are going to be all of the materials that make up the bulk storage over here, and then everything else we should be fine on. So let's talk about how I've been running the factory recently. So I've let the barrels and the chisel bookshelves all craft up. So that means currently everything requiring slabs is now finished, because of course we don't have the other materials for the other ones. So I've been manually turning things on and off based on if I need them or not. So where are we? This one of these two here is going to be slabs. This one here is slabs. So I am going, slabs has already been turned off. Right. Oh yes, I remember now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn both chest and tripwire hooks back on. So that goes there, and then that's a tripwire hook. So those ones go there. And then we need to turn the factory back on because I turned it off while I was adjusting the things at the top. So let's go to here, flick that back on, and I'm going to fix this as well, so that it's going back to 6 items rather than just the 2. So it slows things down a little bit. Now everything should be running from here again. I didn't put an item back in, that's probably why. No, there we go. I did put the item in, I just turned it off. So now we should be getting all of those items that we need. Yeah, I believe so. I believe we're right on that front. So we turn the factory back on. So now what we're crafting up is chests and tripwire hooks. That's kind of the next thing that I'm working the way through to get the trap chests done, and then we can see if we need tripwire hooks again. So, this is right. What I've done to turn off some of the crafters is just stick an item in the bits here, and then that will just automatically turn off the crafters at the top. What's the other crafter I got turned off up here? Because I saw that there was one. This one here, pistons. Ah, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on again, but then I'm going to go and turn it off using the method that we used earlier that I just showed you. So we just need to turn off sticky pistons just by just tricking the system into thinking that it has all of the ones in there. Oh, and we still need a bunch of other pistons as well. We'll turn off pistons as well, so that we're just focusing all of our wood onto the chests themselves. So the next task is, of course, going to be to pop in these items all along here and then wire up as part of the spaghetti mess. So that's going to be interesting, and it gets worse as well because we've got to come from up. No, we don't have to come up from up here. That's fine. That's fine. So let's go and disable our piston crafter for the time being. There we go. So let's get all of these in, do some spaghettification, and yeah, that'll take a little while. Well, you can see I've been using the gold farm. Not 100% sure what causes the mass amount of piglins to spawn from the one portal. I think it's where they spawn inside the nether portal and then are instantly teleported through, but I could be wrong on that front. So instead, let's turn our attention around back into the spaghetti hole. So not a whole lot has been done. I've only got a few little bits in. I'm in no real rush to get the rest of these in because they're not being farmed or not being used in some cases yet, because some of them are just for the quality of life crafters. So for example, it'll be impossible for me to do the feathers, the ink sacs, the bamboo, because those are only used for the quality of life ones that we're going to stick out on the end over here. These ones over on the end here, I haven't quite gotten the system in yet, but I know what I can do. This spaghetti mess will be able to change soon because the crafting, we can take outputs from here. So if we go up to the comparators coming out of this barrel here, we can take a signal out from the barrel if it's got an item in it, and then we can then loop that around to the crafter itself. So our slabs, our bookshelves, chests and books will all be connected up to here, so we can then turn off their auto crafting from a different way. Some of the other ones will still be going from other places though. This here I feel like is a bug. Let's go and see if we can squash this one together. So I believe that we've got our first batch of trap chests finished. Yeah, there we go. So if we push that button there, then our tripwire dispense crafter comes back on. That is good. But what was that with the chest ones? Because surely, have we not finished? No, we have finished those ones. Nothing else uses a chest, right? Let's have a look, see at the redstone for the chest one. So that's number 3 here. So it's this redstone line here. That didn't turn on for some reason. That one coming from here. Oh, phantom. So pop a torch in there. That then should turn that line on there. That's getting powered from there, which we don't want. Okay, so I just need to change that around. That's a bug that will squash. Let's just 17 chest crafted toggle, although it doesn't actually matter because we're going to redo it anyway, aren't we? We're coming off of this system. That's fine. Next time, Max continues to farm slimes manually. Alright, well, still needs a load of slime blocks. Let's go and get another one. There we go. Max continues to move his shulker boxes manually. Take them from here, put them back over the front over here. And farms his sugarcane manually. Well, it's not going to be a very good harvest if it's not growing because I'm not in the area. So today has been a great leap forward in getting close to the factory completion. Obviously, it's this kind of the framework of the factory and not the actual farms themselves, but this is something that needed to be done, and it allows us to then expand in farming and then getting those last materials needed in order to create the last of our stuff that we need. Okay, so we can continue on working, getting some farms in now because we've got the infrastructure, and of course we've still got the down below that we need to take care of as well, because this isn't finished yet, and there's still a lot more logic that needs to be worked out in order to get the factory fully finished and all of our resources that we want to be gathering and having on demand finished. So if you have enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.